Manchester United player ratings and match reaction. David De Gea gets a 7 for me. Nothing he could really do about the goal, I have to say. It was a world-class strike. But I think he played quite well. He covered his defence well. He was off his line very quick, out of his box. So he gets a 7 for me. Dalot gets a 6. Nothing spectacular out of him tonight. I thought he defended quite well. Didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything really spectacular. Just a good average performance. So he gets a 6. Luke Shaw on the left-hand side also gets a 6. Again, similar to Dalot. Linked up well going forward. Obviously, we didn't get a clean sheet, but he didn't do anything wrong. And I think, he probably is after securing that left-back spot for himself until, potentially he has a poor performance. So 6. Lindelof at the back, I'm going to give a 7. I thought him and Martinez, we'll get down to Martinez in a second, but Lindelof won his headers, barraged in the second half, long balls in on top. I thought that they defended quite well, they kept their shape quite well, so he gets a 7. Martinez then, he also gets a 7 for me, similar to Lindelof. I thought they both played quite well, similar, kept their shape, won their headers, defended quite well. Nothing they could really do about the goal that Everton scored, but outside of that, it was a solid defensive performance. Casemiro then in the midfield, brilliant, 9. And man of the match, I thought he was brilliant. Now, he was at fault for the goal, you would have to say, but it didn't affect him in any way. I thought he got on the ball quite well. He progressed the ball forward. Obviously, he had the assist for Ronaldo. He won his tackles. His positioning was brilliant. He won his headers. He was absolutely outstanding. That position is his now. Scott, go back to Scotland. Eriksen then beside him, I give him a 6. Again, it wasn't... It seemed like a game that kind of passed him by. He didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't do anything spectacular either. I think he needs a rest. I really do. So for that reason, he gets a 6. Bruno then, he gets a 5. He just frustrates me. And I said it in the watch along that, you have to take the rough and the smooth with Bruno. He's going to give you some spectacular moments throughout the season, but he's going to frustrate the life out of you as well. And he done that tonight. 5. Anthony then on the right, he gets a 7 for me. Took his goal very well. He was the most lively player we had out of the front three, I thought. Great start to his United career. 3 goals in 3 Premier League games, I think. So, yeah, he gets a 7. Rashford on the left then. Rashford gets a 5 for me. Another game that passed him by. He did score a goal that was disallowed quite harshly, I thought. But again, another game that passed him by. He just looked uninterested. And it's a tough one. So, yeah, he gets a 5. And Ronaldo then, he gets a 7 for me. I'm not overly concerned about performances with strikers. A striker's job is to score goals. He was brought on, he scored, so he gets a 7. So an overall good performance, guys. 3 points on the board. We move on. We move up the table, up to 5th now with a game in hand. So happy days. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the chat below, and I'll see you on the next one.